and welcome to Add More Zest. My name's Rebecca, also known as 4Kids at 147, and I recently went away with hubby for a few days to caravan in West Wales. Had a lovely time, but it was sort of last-ish minute. Wasn't sure whether to take a big diamond painting, a small diamond painting, try and take some of my Paint Gem minis. Really wasn't sure. If you've seen my latest unboxing video for Paint Gem mini sets, if I'd have done that before I went away, then I probably would have packed the alphabet set up and taken that with me. But I didn't. So what I did grab was this sign that I got from Fansells ages ago, and it's been sat in my drawer. Let me just move that one over. I've obviously knocked one when I've put it away. It's been sat in my drawer waiting to be done. It's just a sorry we are closed sign. I need to keep a lookout and see if they've got we're open sign, but I thought this would be beautiful just to pop up in the shop. The shop isn't a physical shop that anybody can visit. It is just where I work, but it either gets called the shop, the big shed, or something else, mainly those two. But I thought this would be quite cute to put up in there. So yeah, it is all done. I need to do two things. One, I need to pop the diamonds away. There is not many, so it is not going to take long. I have one that is just a 310, and then I have 3 rhinestones. So it's not going to take a lot to put it away. But then what I also want to do is seal this. So the whole area is sticky. Now, you can't sort of feel the sticky because the diamonds are so compact. But if you can sort of get your fingers in between where there's a little bit of a larger gap, you can feel some sticky, which, as you may well know from living, dust is very, very small, and can get in anything, and hairs can stick to anything and then just expand. So I thought I would seal this, and I would try the new Art Dot sealer that I opened a couple of weeks ago. But let's put these away first. So I'm just going to grab my rounds box that has my 310s. So my 310s are in here, and then I just took some bags with me. I just threw into the packet. I threw into the packet a tray, a pen, which was entertaining when doing these bigger diamonds, and 4 empty grip seal bags just to pop the rest of the diamonds in after I'd finished each colour. And I pretty much did each colour one at a time. Not completely though, because this background, there was like 4, I think it was 4 packs in there. So I did 1 or 2 packs of them, and then did some of the black and the fill-in, and then I did another pack, and then I did the sort of, it's more like a browny red. The actual closed word is like a browny red colour, and I did that one last. So it sort of mixed things up a little bit for me. But that's the black away. For my special diamonds, I have a section for silver, which, as you can imagine, there is quite a few. There's actually slightly different shadings sometimes to some of these clear ones. This one is a little bit more white than this one. So think of this one as 5200 and this one as 365. Very, very slight variant. And then I do have one that's got a slight hint of yellow. So this one, I would say, is the 5200 variant. So I'm going to pop those all in together. It's quite a crisp and a clear one, this one. Now, quite often, even if I'm doing these sort of special kits at home, or these off the canvas kits at home, I will still do the same thing of tipping the spares into here and not just come and put the spares straight into my storage. But that is just in case, you know, in the process of working on it, I spot a diamond that I don't quite like the look of. You know, it's got maybe a little bit of a flaw and it needs switching out. Or, of course, the ultimate, where you realise you've missed one. So I keep them all together until it's complete. For my other diamonds, I just have a mixed bag of all the different diamonds, all the shapes in a silver. So these will just go in with it. If I ever want to use these for a project, I would just tip them into a mega tray and pick which ones I fancy. So that can go in there. And then this one, I actually class this a bit more of a brown than a red, though it probably is a really deep red. Now, where did I put brown? Because I don't actually have a colour set for brown. Did I put it in with yellow or in with orange? So I've definitely got a few little pockets. No, it's not in there. Maybe I put it in with orange. I'm sure I've had this. Here it is. I have put it in with orange. So this is sort of those darker colours. Now it is, again, a mixture of a few of the darker shades of sort of browny colours. I'm just going to check I haven't got any in red, just in case I have in the past seen this as red. No, they're square ones, they're my round ones. I've only put in bright red. So yeah, it does involve mixing up, but I don't do special or off the canvas diamond paintings that much. I have done quite a few in the past, and there is a lot that I have done. However, they're always often a lot smaller. So therefore there's nowhere near as many leftover diamonds as there are for other paintings, which is why I just keep it to this small box and sort of combine as many as I can. So that is the diamonds away, so I can pop those back in with my baggies if I ever remember which drawer I put them in. And then I'm going to grab this diamond painting art dot sealer kit. So normally in the past I've just used this crystal art sealer from Craft Buddy. I think they're both very, very similar, but I love the brushes in this. It actually does come with a lint roller as well, but this has been in a bag. So bar one rogue hair that I pulled off there, it's been fine. I don't think I've got any diamonds that need straightening up, though it's pretty handy to straighten up any diamonds. Oh, in fact, I've just knocked one. The only thing I'm mainly interested in checking over my diamonds is that I have covered all of the symbols underneath. I don't want to seal this and then have to fight because I've got a visible symbol. So that's what I'm having a quick look for now, is anywhere it's either got knocked by me or I've not quite placed it in the right place in the first place. And I think I'm good. I think I'm good enough. If I can't see it now, I'm not going to be able to see it from a distance. And I think I'm just going to use the normal brush. So let's get in this sealer. Not used it yet. This one does say to sort of pour it into the cap and use it from there. But I think because it is new and very full, I'll just be able to get away with just going straight in. Does this peel off as one? No. I do like the colour of this as well. Very pretty. Oh, it's clear. I expected it to be white, but it's straight off clear. Okay, let's see if this is going to be easy enough to tell where I have been then. Because the glue is clear. So maybe it's not the same as my other stuff. So I'm just going to brush this on over the top. I'm going to try and get myself a little bit of a system because it is clear. And this is where I'm going to struggle with where I've been and where I've not. Oh no, I can sort of see. I'm not sure if you guys can see the difference. Can you see where I've been on this sort of half? I don't know whether this is actually giving it a bit more of a shine. I don't think it's particularly dulling it. I think it's giving it a different type of shine. Very interesting. Unless I'm putting on too much. Trying to make sure I watch my edges. But yeah, I can see... Okay, just throw it all over my desk. I can see where I've put it. I'm trying to make sure that I work it in the gaps as I'm doing it. And I'm not sure if it's actually like frothing up a little bit. I guess we'll see what it's like when it all dries. But it does seem to be frothing up and turning white just a little bit as I'm working it in. But then it is going clear because I know I've just been over that place before and I'm going over the same place twice thinking that I've not gone over it when in fact it's just settled down and the bubbles have settled down. So let me just check around those edges. Try and use the brush to get up this little bit off my desk. What I need to make sure is that I don't put down, in fact let's just wipe it up with my fingers because it does come up. I mean my desk will need a wipe. Ew. You gotta love the way that glue picks up muck. A bit like an eraser, right, or a rubber as we call it here in the UK. Let's go back to going flat because it is easier when it's flat. So I'm systematically working across. I do like the fact that it lathers up a little bit as I'm squeezing it into the gaps. Does make it easier for me to see where I'm going. Because that was the thing with the white one. It is easier to see where you've been and where you've not been. But actually working it into those gaps, because that's what we need to cover. More so than the diamonds themselves, we need to cover the gaps because that's where the glue is that we don't want to pick up. That hair and dust and daily life. So, and this design does at least have sort of sections, but I'm not sure if you can see. I've just done that sorry weir, but if you look across the top where I did the first part of the glue, it seems to have settled down and dried down a little bit. Now, I'm not sure how well the sort of spatula for the glue would work. It would probably work really well if you're doing covering an off the canvas item or a painting that has areas of blank space. I think the silicone part would work well on the blank space. Let's get this in, try and do it in the middle and then work my way over. I have no idea if I'm adding too much or not. I'm just plopping it on. It does spread quite a way though. Spread quite a bit over, but I don't mind having a thick coating on as long as, of course, when it dries clear, it will look fine. So I'd rather have more than not enough and it end up picking up loads of bits of dust. Just trying to make sure I get round the edges, because that is where is likely to pick up the most as well. And if you can see, further up is drying. Well, I'm not sure if you can. Try to show you, see further up, it's got a bit more of a sheen than the close sign I've just done. So let's move down a bit. So I'm sort of using this corner to give me my bit across here. And then I'll go down into those little bits. But yeah, it's definitely going white when it sort of froths up a bit, which is making it easier to see, nicer to see. And frankly, this brush is adorable. So give it a nice good jiggle wiggle, get it in all those gaps, and then I'm just going to do a little sweep round the edges so I don't end up with just any big sort of blobs of it on the edges. And then I am actually going to hold it for this bottom part, because otherwise it's going to move around my desk if I try to do it flat and do my wiggle jiggle. But my hand's got a bit more grip than my desk has, and hopefully this will give you a bit of a different angle on the lighting as well. See what it looks like. And you could potentially go all around the edges as well on this on purpose, just if you want to help to seal the edges of the wood with a little bit of clear. But yeah, there we go. I have sealed my sign. It's been a while since I've sealed anything, because I haven't done any like this for quite a while. I've just done a couple of brush strokes over the middle of that, just try to make sure that I've got all the rest of the glue out of my brush before I wash it. That's probably the better lighting, so you can see where I've just been, whereas of course you could see that before when I'd gone over it fully. So it's definitely drying clearer. In fact, I would say up the top it has pretty much dried already. There's still a little bit. There's still, if I look really, really closely, and I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see it, but in where I've got these swirls, behind the swirls is some black lines that I've then put the diamonds on the top of. There is still white bubbles on there, little bubbles from agitating it all. So yeah, we will bob that to dry, and I will be back in a few and you can see what that looks like. I've just scraped my brush on the side to make sure that that is as clear as possible. But yeah, it does say it is larger volume. It is definitely, it's a very big tub. Stays shiny, rapid curing, which is, I agree, it is primarily drying rather quick. Non-toxic and safe and multi-purpose. It does say 2 hours for it to fully dry. But I reckon, you know, you can move it about a bit. Or it does say do not touch the surface of it until it's fully dry. So maybe let's stop messing with it. Oh, slightly too tall for where I was going to put it on my shelf. So I'm just going to move some shorter things over. My little shelf that my camera thing props onto is actually, it actually has like little L's in the corner and then a shelf in the middle. So I just had to shove some stuff over so it could go in the tall part of the L. But yeah, we will see how that dries. So it has gone white and bubbly. So I'm going to do my best now to completely leave it alone. Go and do some other jobs around, and we'll come back in a couple of hours and see how that all dries. I'm just going to pop my silicone brush in with my other tools. Now I have broken into this, it can now be in separate pieces. So yeah, I'm going to go and get a few different jobs done, and I will come back and put it, of course, on this video, and we will see how my clothes sign dries. Okay, so my sign has had at least 2 hours to dry, which is amazing. I still think it's got the sparkle and the bits. I'm trying to have a look close up where there was sort of the white with all the little micro bubbles has disappeared. There was a period of time, I think about an hour after I'd popped it on, where I could still see little micro bubbles from the glue, but of course it hadn't been 2 hours. It is not sticky in there, so I'm popping sort of my hand in some of the bigger gaps, trying to pop my finger in to see if it's in any way still tacky, which it's not. So I can officially call this sign done. I just need to get my piece of twine. Of course, there's always one side that is awkward, but this came with the kit. My piece of twine in. One not enough? It is. And there we go. I have a sorry we are closed, fully sealed, not to pick up dust, apart from maybe this thin layer on the top, because we know dust, it likes to stick everywhere. And yeah, very happy with the Art Dot sealer stuff. Much happier when I found it, you know, you did have this white sort of look, frothy look. I have managed to get something on this. I don't know whether this was before or after glue. Looks like it's a little splinter of this twine. I actually bent one of these prongs on my needle, but I am able to get it out. Now whether that is, whether I'm actually taking it off the top coat of the Art Dot glue, or whether it was underneath and I'm actually ripping through it, I don't know, but it is coming off. Just need to get hold of it. But as I say, I've actually bent one side of this tweezer, which is my own silly fault for using it for things I shouldn't. But anyway, that's now out. So I'm going to go and pop this in the shop. Thank you all so much for your, what to you was a split-second patience and what was to me about 3 hours. But yeah, we're all done. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you all again soon.